Gang's all here. Hi, Bob. How are you? Good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to the Basin Street Club at Mackey Stadium. It's wonderful to see you all here today for what we believe is a monumental announcement of a major gift in support of Wolfpack Athletics and specifically for the Lombardi Center renovation. This is a conversation that's been years in the making. And for those of you that are Wolfpack historians, for those of you that have been around longer than I have, you know the conversation about a dedicated basketball practice center has been in the works for probably a decade or more. And frankly, it started with coaches Trent Johnson and Mark Fox. And when they were here and talking about the future of major college basketball, they envisioned the future which included having a basketball practice center. If you wanted to be a big-time player in major Division I college basketball, you had to have a dedicated 24/7 basketball practice center. And it's something that we've been working on for nearly a decade now. Today, we're thrilled to announce a major gift that'll get us across the finish line in terms of funding a dedicated basketball practice center. Many of you know when this was initially discussed, we were talking about a $10 to $15 million practice facility, a separate building, a building maybe attached to Lawler, a building maybe even on the top of the West Stadium parking garage, right? There were some ideas being floated around just to get this project started and get it done. And today we're talking about doing something which I think is really important. It's a partnership with the university. And we're incredibly grateful to the university administration, of course, our president, Mark Johnson, our vice president, Ron Zurich, and many other people at the university that really worked closely with us to develop an idea of reallocating space in Lombardi Recreation Center. And for those of you that are alumni, those of you that have been around campus, you know Lombardi Rec Center has served this campus for many years as our student recreation, our student intramural building. And with the new Wiegand Fitness Center opening up this January, there will be space allocated or space available to be allocated back to athletics for a brand new basketball practice gym, a beautiful, huge weight room, strength conditioning center with a nutrition center, and then additional locker rooms for many of our sports that right now either share locker room space or don't have locker room space. So we couldn't be more thrilled for this project to get going, and we're excited to announce this big gift. One of the things that this donor talked about when we first met with him was about other people being involved. It was really important to the donor that he wouldn't be out on an island by himself, funding this project by himself. And there's probably a lot of reasons for that. But one of the things was he wanted to see the community support, wanted to know that Wolfpack basketball was important to the community and that more people were going to be involved and participating in this. And so we were thrilled. That was in 2015. We were thrilled this past summer in 2016 to meet with him and to share some really good news that we had pledges in hand. We had commitments from donors in the community for nearly $1.5 million towards a roughly $2.5 million goal, fundraising goal. And he was thrilled. I mean, even to the point where once committed to the gift told us that he wasn't sure he was going to make the gift unless he knew we had other commitments involved, other people involved. And so I'd like to acknowledge the other people that are involved. Many of them are here today, and you can stand or you can wave your hand, you can duck under the table if you want, whatever. But a lot of those folks are here, and I do want to recognize them and thank them for their incredible support. And it starts with Jerry and Roxy Enneking. Great to see you guys here. Walter and May Minato, thank you guys. Ann Carlson, Ron Turek, where are you? Oh, there you are. The Bena family, the Benas here. Great, thank you guys. Jason Sterrett, Jason, yes, there he is. Jason. The Hart Foundation, Mark Noble. The Hart Foundation, Mark Noble and Craig Karish. Thanks. I don't think they're here, but I know members of their company are here. The Basin Street Properties, Matt and Melissa White. And then lastly, two people that deserve additional recognition because this major gift that we will announce today would not have happened without their support and their financial support, and their emotional support, in a lot of ways, a little bit of push and a little bit of tug on the donor to help him get across the finish line and making his decision. But they are invested in this project themselves, but I can't thank them enough for the time, the persistence, the perseverance, the love, and the care for this project and this program. And Chris and Kim Aramini, thank you so much for being involved in this. And then a gentleman who's involved in everything we do, but this was a passion project because he's just so dear close to the program and to the donor. But Rick Revilio, Ricky, thank you so much again. Appreciate you. So the donor, who is it's like the worst kept secret, I think, in Reno, everyone knows the name, but was so pleased that these leaders of our community were involved in this project. They were investing in the PAC. They were investing in men's and women's basketball. They were so pleased to hear all this investment, all this participation, that this summer he stepped up and made a commitment, a major commitment, one of the largest commitments in our department history. We think it's one of the largest personal gifts, and it's certainly one of the largest, maybe the largest ever gift from a former student athlete. If you would, please roll the video for the gift announcement.
For me, giving back to the University of Nevada means a lot. You know, it's a second home for me, a place that gave me a chance when a lot of schools didn't. So for me, it was only right. And it's one of those things is coming up as a college kid. I remember being in college at the University of Nevada, and we didn't always have access to a gym. You know, I mean, a big-time university, nowadays, everybody have access to a gym. You know, Coach Fox preached about it, trying to get a gym built, you know, a practice facility. And it's one of those things that as my career went on, I said, you know, one day, hopefully I can give back to the community and help out in that situation. And the way things are going now with stuff being built on campus, and, you know, we got, you know, in the Mountain West. So it's one of those things I feel like the university needs a practice facility. And for me, I'm blessed enough, 10 years in the NBA, to get back to my second home. I see, you know, the likes of Rick Revilio, Chris Aramini, those type of guys in the community, always giving back to the basketball, always giving back to football. And for me, I just wanted to kind of, you know, put my stamp on it. And I'm here to tell you guys in Reno that I'm pledging an asset of $1 million to give back to the school to help build a practice facility. I'm excited about it. I know the coach is excited about it. I know, you know, once this gets going, the community will be excited about, because Wolfpack, you know, is a big deal in Reno, and it means a lot to me to give back to you guys, because you guys helped me get where I'm at today. Oh no, like you said, this facility is something special. I saw pictures of it, you know, of the rough draft of it. That's one of those things that, you know, the swim team is going to use it. The weight room is going to be tremendous for all the athletes. And like you said, it's not just for the basketball; it's for all the athletes at the University of Nevada, because, you know, we're not just about one team, about this team. It's about It's about the University of Nevada growing. And I feel like this will help with everybody. Oh, it meant a lot. I mean, for people that know my track record, you know, me being from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I do a lot of stuff in the community in Myrtle Beach. And, you know, that's my first home. So it's only right to come back to my second home, which I tell people every day, Reno is my second home. They do a lot for me. And I mean, to be honest, it's one of those things that Coach Fox preached on it so much, you know, and I'm blessed enough now where I can do that and give back to the community. But it takes a lot of guys, the Roys, the Rick Revilios, the Chris Araminis, the Ethan O'Briens, the guys that I still stay in touch with to this day, the guys that always talk about the University of Nevada giving back. So it's one of those things that I was just blessed, and I'm just here to, you know, to give back. It's exciting. You know, watching last season when they beat UNLV, I remember the game like it was yesterday. Just Coach Musselman out there in the crowd, chanting for the crowd, getting everybody on their feet. Remind me of a young Coach Fox. I mean, it's true to say that, because Coach Fox is one of those type of guys that got the crowd involved. You know, the attendance is going up. You know, the fans are coming back out. I mean, when I was there for my camp this past summer, people in the community are talking about the basketball again. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a Wolfpack, man.
All right, here's the fun part. Ramon couldn't be here today. Obviously, he's on video here to announce his gift. But what's really special about this, what's really neat about this, is he's watching from home right now. So Ramon, a huge round of applause again for everyone. Everyone. Thank you, sir. And Ramon, we can't thank you enough, obviously, for this gift. But what's really neat about it is you mentioned some of the really important names. You mentioned Rick and Chris, people that are heavily involved in the community. And we love the fact that you often refer to Reno as your second home. We know how much you do in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We know how impactful you are with your high school, with the Boys and Girls Club. We know everything you're doing in your first home, but we love the fact that you're plugged in here. You come back every summer and do your camp, and we hope you continue to do that forever. Keep on coming back and keep staying close to the Wolfpack. We need you here as often as we can, and we certainly appreciate your support. One last person to thank, and I know this person, if he was here right now, he'd be gushing with thanks and appreciation for, but that's Rory Hickok. And if you don't know this, Rory and Ramon were very close, and when you see those two together, it's amazing. It's like a brother, a couple of brothers together, talking about the good old days, talking about the good times, and it's just amazing. This gift would not have happened either without Rory. And Rory pushing and prodding and pulling and getting the right people involved, and just the trust that Ramon has in Rory Hickok is one of the reasons why this gift happened. So a huge round of applause for Roar. Thanks again, bud. Appreciate you. And I'm certain Ramon's at home right now applauding you as well. So huge thanks. I do want to turn the time over to President Johnson. It's so important for us. As I said before, the integration of athletics with the entire university is vital. It's paramount. It's something we talk about constantly. And this is another great example of athletics and academics, or athletics and the greater university working hand in hand on another amazing project that's going to help athletics in a big way. So I want to publicly thank President Johnson for his great support of Wolfpack Athletics, and I'd love to turn the time over to Dr. Mark Johnson for a few comments.
Thanks a lot, Doug. One of the nice things about this size of university is that the whole university pulls together behind projects like this. So Doug has really kept athletics, Doug and all the coaches, I might say, has kept athletics very close to the university, and all of our vice presidents, facility services, and the like have kept the university close to athletics. So it's a real teamwork here. Just a brief story. I got here in 2008. It didn't take too long before Rory and Carrie at the time would come over and give me their long list of essentials. And so what's this basketball practice field worth? Oh, 15 to 25 million, somewhere in there. And I swallowed hard, but I never forgot what you needed. So when the community came together and actually supported the construction of the E.O. Wiegand Fitness Center, which you see out here on Virginia Street, which will be open in early winter of 2017, it opened up some opportunities. So at that point, I went to athletics and said, so it may not be the same as a separate building, but how would you respond if we turned over the basketball real estate in Lombardi for a dedicated practice field and practice courts? And they came back as if I'd granted them the $25 million building. It was an extremely positive response. So from there on, it's quite a nice facility. It will be dedicated, but we could not have put it into a condition of being a real practice facility for men's and women's basketball without the tremendous support of the community, and we thank all the donors very much. And Ramon, thank you so much for making this possible as well. So thank you all for being here today.
Well, we're in our second day of practice, and I don't really leave practice for much, but this is a fantastic reason to leave my team for a few minutes. And I just want to really, for everybody here, Ramon, all of you, just tell you how grateful I am to every single person that made this happen. I know the lead gift is really, really special. And with Ramon, I've never met you wherever you are on the internet, but I had a really special young lady that played here that I inherited my first year. Y'all remember Delina Kreiner. And Delina, I know Ramon helped Delina with a lot of just things in her life, and this is his DNA to give back, and we just reap that just like it's all of your DNA. We are very, very appreciative, and it will change the scope of everything we do here. It's an exciting time. It's a fantastic time. There's a lot of adjectives to just say what time it is for anywhere from the football renovation to our new locker room, and y'all just keep giving and giving and giving, and we really appreciate it. You know, I'm actually one of those people that was around when I was hired 8 years ago. I actually saw the plans for that, however many $1 million, and you know, we've been waiting a really long time. Eric Musselman, he has got to be one of the best coaches. This is my 33rd year starting, and he is really, to have him here in the leadership position, the guys are going to have a great spot, and I don't know if there's anybody better than him. He sends me emails. It's like he's a walking encyclopedia of, you know, I can't even, it's a full-time job for me just to keep reading all this great stuff, and you know, his practice, he's brought great people here, and I know this community is in for a really, really huge treat. Last thing I want to say is, as a basketball coach, I consider myself a teacher, and my classroom is the basketball court. And I've talked many, many times about what I love about Nevada. The list is so long we don't have time to talk about it. But the one problem we have had for 8 years is my classroom has not been a very good one on practice day. Now, game day is as good as anybody anywhere. But on practice day, having 2 baskets, the majority of the time is what we have had. And it's just hard. You know, I kind of jokingly tell my staff I can't really be responsible for our shooting percentage because it's, you know, the practice free throws. Ask Eric how many free throws kids get in during the time that you're there. Now, when we leave and they put the music on and they're down there just kind of playing around, they might get a lot. But this is going to really change the scope of everything. It's going to motivate our athletes more. I have one athlete here. Where's Desiree? Desiree Gonzalez. Where is she? She's back here. She's going to be there for questions when I go back to practice. But she averaged 32 points a game in Arizona. She was the player of the year in Arizona. She loves to shoot baskets. It's hard when you've got recruited kids that want to shoot, and he's recruited kids that want to shoot, and there's 2 baskets. So this is going to change the scope for all of us. Get ready, put on your seatbelts, because it's going to be an exciting time. Rory, thank you so much. I know you've been here doing all this, and I'm not going to give Doug covered it all, and so did Mark. Mark, you know, they're the leadership that they give us, but we are, again, so appreciative for every single one of you that are here. Go Pack.
Mr. Sessions, thank you. From the men's basketball program, I know that we have a lot of our transfers here today and our freshmen, and I just thank Mr. Sessions. I'm not even going to refer to you by your first name today because what we had talked about with our recruits and the guys that have transferred in is that this dream would come, would actually happen. And so, you guys, I did not lie to you. It's coming, and we can't wait to get in. I know that Rory is tired of the late night threats. We're getting a new scoreboard in now, so at 11 o'clock last night, I think I told Rory that the men's basketball was going to boycott if we didn't get a gym for today for practice, just for today. Yesterday, the Boys and Girls Club has been great, letting us use their facilities for the first 2 days, and yesterday we were at Reno High, and so this facility is really, really needed, because for a Division I men's and women's basketball to go from a Boys and Girls Club to Reno High, and so this is our 3rd place that we practice now today, because we're back in Lawler, so it's the 3rd place that we practiced in 3 days. And to have a top flight program in men's and women's basketball, we need what's coming, and we can't thank everybody enough for their support. And this is humongous for the guys that have already committed and are part of our program, but maybe most importantly for what the future holds. And there's no reason now that we can't recruit with top programs in the country. There's no excuses. We have what we need. and the shooting percentages will come up in both men's and women's basketball. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll try my best.
Coach, is this a game changer for Wolfpack basketball athletics, just having a 24/7 practice facility you don't have to be a vagabond for anymore?
I mean, I think it really is. It's, you know, Coach Jane brought it up, you know, that just our student athletes want to work on their craft. And, you know, it's become a challenge. I know the first day that I got here and looked out at Lawler, there was 2 baskets. And then I looked at the women's shooting percentages and the percentages of our team. And, you know, I said, maybe it's not the players' fault that both programs are shooting like 18% from 3. And we were lucky enough to get a 3rd basket. And this year, you know, we have more baskets. So what they've done to Lawler is, as of now, with the people that haven't been in there, there's a little mini court that's perfect to get extra shooting reps up. So I think that between Doug and Rory, we've done all we can in the space that we have in an arena, which is really important because now in our own arena we can get a lot of reps up. But this completely changes everything because that's the way of society in athletics right now is facilities, facilities, facilities. And those questions are always asked by recruits and recruits' parents and by their inner circle. So it puts us on par with everybody. And because it's brand new, you know, in our eyes, it should be second to none. And hopefully the way the locker room's done and everything, we'll do it in such a first-class manner that we'll be proud to say we have as good a facility as anybody in the country.
Coach, obviously everyone chipped in. I mean, it was big for everybody donating, but to have somebody who played here reinvesting in the program, how special is that?
I mean, it's really special having been a part of the NBA family and knowing how players are with their money. And some guys spend it, you know, as they get it. Other guys know how to save money. And then there's a very, very few that give back. And, you know, there has been NBA players that have given back to their universities. I don't know if there's more than 2 or 3 that have given this amount. And so to me, it's really, it's an incredible, generous gift. Again, you can look across the board, former NFL players, former MLB players, former NBA guys. What are they actually giving back? And to me, this is kind of unprecedented. It's an amazing gift and the generosity. And then when you really think about, you know, where he was raised and how far away it is logistically, you know, it's not like it's somebody from within a 2-hour radius. And so to me, it's an incredible gift and a game changer for us.
Has this all happened quicker than you thought? I mean, all of the renovations with the floor and the scoreboard and the practice facility, I mean, these things have been in the works and been, you know, said they're going to be done for a decade. But what does it mean to you to see that you know, they're investing in your program and in your product?
I mean, it means a lot, Chris. You know, I think that, you know, these are some of the things that you know, in the interview process with Doug and Rory and President Johnson, these were all things that were brought up. You know, and all it does is just further, you know, strengthens the trust amongst everybody that things happen, you know, because at least for me, I feel really lucky and fortunate that I'm coming in at the right time, and I know that Coach Fox and Coach Johnson and people well before me, you know, have partaken in putting this project together, and certainly the boosters and donors that have been here through many, many years, and so I feel lucky, perfect timing, so to speak, but there's just all across campus, you know, you look around at all the new buildings and stuff, and it's a really neat time for the university.
What was your reaction when you heard Ramon, you know, donated $1 million to the program?
More than shocked, because the first couple conversations were with Doug and Rory and Rick, and, you know, when they started talking, you know, and then I would leave them, they don't know it, but I'm like, all right, we're going to be lucky if we get $10. You know, not because of Mr. Sessions, so to speak, but just knowing what I knew about NBA guys, and you know, when they told us the amount, I was floored, to be honest. I mean, kind of, it's you know, it's remarkable because you're not talking about, you know, a player that has been a perennial all-star and has made all-star money. So again, this, to me, the gift is beyond words.
You spoke with him the day that you accepted the job and, you know, were announced as the head coach here. I guess, what is your relationship with him like? And he seems like he's a pretty special, unique guy who obviously cares about the Wolfpack.
I mean, in the little bit of time that we have spent, and I've tried to, whenever he comes into town, we go down to his camp, and you know, I think it's important to develop a relationship with all the former players, and Luke's been great, and Nick Fazekas has been great, but you know, for whatever reason, maybe it's because of Rick and Rory and the different polls, and an incredible guy, you know, we were fortunate enough that he spoke to our team and gave a great message that day, and just the character and the reputation that he holds in the NBA. That's why he's played 10 years in the NBA. It's not just about him as a basketball player, because once you get past that 5th, 6th, 7th year in the NBA, it's hard to stick, you know, especially if you're a role-type player. And he's not only playing in the NBA today because of his great talent, but maybe more important because of his character, his leadership, and how people view him, you know, as a person as well as a player.
You mentioned that you guys have practiced Boys and Girls Club in Reno High.
It was cold, too, one day.
Does this help your program more as far as like the daily thing, or more in recruiting, or can you not quantify, you know, the difference?
I think both, Chris. I mean, I think it's a definite, you know, game changer for us recruiting-wise. You know, because since the day that we got here, we would walk over to Lombardi and kind of show them, and we had renderings and stuff like that. And I think it's really helped us land the guys that we've already landed. But I think when it's actually here and they can see it and feel it, and we're not walking down the hallway and saying, hey, here's where locker rooms are going to be, and here's what the weight room's going to look like. When you can feel it, see it, and be in it, it's a game changer. And so whether it's recruiting somebody outside the area, or for the first time ever, we're trying to start recruiting overseas with this 2017 class. And so the pictures help, but, you know, when we can actually let somebody see it, it'll be a game changer. But I think for our current guys, they want to get shots and reps up. We have a lot of guys that stagger out throughout the night and come back without the coaches and get shots and reps up, and we need more than 2 baskets, so it's something that's in desperate need of around here.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Thanks.
No questions for the athletic director? Perfect. Actually, I got
All right, good.
This was a long time coming, all these upgrades. The fact that it's happened really over about a year and a half, 2 years. I mean, you got to be pretty proud of the response you've gotten from donors and people around town to make this stuff happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's any kind of major gift like this, or like what all the other folks have put into this project, or any of our projects. There's a partnership, there's a trust that's there, and that's not just with me. It's with our entire staff. It's with our coaches. It's having the right people in the program, and then when people feel confident and they feel like the program's going in a good direction, folks like to be involved in that, and it's been a lot of fun. And not all the projects are privately funded. The track out in the stadium was funded by the university. The scoreboards were funded by a multimedia rights partnership, but a number of the other projects, tennis and track, and obviously the basketball practice facility is all going to be private gifts. There's one thing I do want to make sure we talk about too, and I didn't do a good job earlier, is this facility will be multi-use facility. We've talked a lot about basketball, but the weight room, the strength conditioning center, will be used by all of our teams, all of our athletes, and that will be that'll be the finest strength conditioning center in the Mountain West Conference. It won't even be close. And then across the hall, next to each side of the pool will still be used as a recreation pool, a student access pool. But on either side, there'll be locker rooms. And for the first time in a long time, we'll have dedicated locker room space for a few of our teams that right now either don't have their own private locker room or share locker room with other teams. And it'd be really nice for a lot of those sports to have their own place to get together before and after practice and keep their belongings and everything else. It's gonna be a big deal for them. So strength conditioning, locker rooms, and then obviously the basketball piece will be a big component for recruiting for all of our sports.
Doug, you just had the Mackey was just upgraded. Obviously, this announcement is the momentum starting to roll in the right direction with the upgrades in the facilities in the athletic department.
Yeah, I think so. There's, as you all know, there's a lot of stuff. We have a lot to do here, and that's a fun way to look at life because it's not daunting, it's not scary. It's just there's a lot of things to do here. So there's a lot of things to check off the list. And like I said before, but the momentum is there's people that are excited about where we're going and the direction we're going. We have great coaches involved. We have great people involved, and so that's the thing that gets people excited. So when you bring a new project and you say, here's the next thing we want to get done. People are saying yes. People are getting involved, and that's exciting. So we have more projects coming. There's no shortage of that. And frankly, doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter what school or university or team you're at. There's always something where you're trying to improve, and that's just the competitiveness of athletics. And we're playing catch up in a lot of ways, but we're going to get there. Lord help.
More questions?
Come on, Chris. Really? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Let me just wrap. Again, a huge thank you to all the donors involved. Huge thank you for all of you coming out today. We will have, you can put this on your calendar, President Johnson, we will have a grand opening event sometime in late August, sometime before the 1st of September, before the new school year starts, a grand opening of the Ramon Sessions Basketball Performance Center. So thank you all so much. Have a great day, and go Pack.